All right. And we're back, finally. I
Oh
just
my
yelled in
God.
the mic. Sorry.
Oh, it feels so good.
Yeah, we're back with another episode of Award Show. I'm
What is this,
Leighton
like
Ward.
seven? I'm Sebastian. I'm Sebastian Chow.
Yeah, and
Using
we're
my
doing
using
the
my
thing.
slave name, my Chinese name
Yes, Chinese
is
slave.
Hung Men, but we don't want to talk about that because the virus will hunt me out.
Yeah, it's actually episode 6, part 1. I think we're
Okay.
doing
Well,
a
do we
two-parter,
count
right?
the live stream of video games?
Nah, that was like
Nah.
a bonus. So it was,
Yeah. What a bonus it was.
yeah, which you can find on our YouTube. It's currently at 4 views. We're
Oh
killing it.
hell yeah, brother, killing it.
hmm
No, I'm just about fucking sick of hearing coronavirus jokes because I did a couple important sets this week. Not to brag, but I am bragging a little bit because they're nice. One was at Yuck Yucks Toronto. One was at uh, a showcase called Fresh Comics in at the Cameron House Toronto, and it was. I'm hearing people talk about coronavirus, but they don't have like a joke. They just go like, fucking crack open a coronavirus, right?
It's
And
funny,
they make me want to
ironically.
fucking blow my brains out. They make me want to shove a bat down my throat until I suffocate.
Yeah, shove it up my ass.
Yeah, because you know
Uh,
that's like how they got it by eating bats.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
and
has anybody done the whole hacky coronavirus Ozzy Osbourne thing? Have you heard that?
I haven't heard that connection. It's absolutely been made about 30,000 times.
Yeah,
Uh, so here's the thing that's going on in Toronto right now, is that the open mic scene, ever since the New Year's, has gone and fucked itself in the ass, and it still is going.
all
It's
right.
a
That sounds
zoo.
fun.
When you show up to the list, you need to be an hour early to get a spot. Uh,
Not doing that.
but here's the thing: everybody and their fucking mother's dog is in the line for the list, and nobody's there at the show. Like the people who sign up and don't go is like it's so bananas high right now.
That
And
sounds
like
about right.
there's usually some like that, but it's like people have made the resolution or something.
Oh, yeah.
You know how gyms are packed after the new year? It's the same with open mics here.
See, I signed up for a gym in December and then quit going
Oh, you
January
stopped
1st.
going.
That
Oh,
was my New Year's resolution to quit going to the gym. I'm getting too big. You know what I
okay.
mean? So I
Yeah.
thought I should get a gym membership and then
Did you start
end
smoking
it for the
also?
new year. No, I'm still
Oh,
not
okay.
smoking. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
That
That's good.
wasn't a resolution. Well, that was a resolution to not die as soon, even though sometimes I'd like to.
Oh,
You
no,
know.
it's coming. You can't stop it. So, you
Yeah.
don't have to lean in, but it's coming.
Yeah, exactly. Not leaning in. That is usually against my entire philosophy, but in this case, I
Yeah.
will not lean
There's
in.
there's an exception. You don't have to be a hardliner. You can waver. No one's checking.
Yeah. Leaning in is like the best fucking advice in comedy ever. Not that I'm qualified to give advice,
Yeah,
but
I mean, like if people like look at you fumble around on stage, and you're like, that wasn't my joke. Stop laughing at that part of me. It's like lean into it, dude, because you're not like that funny. But
yeah, exactly.
if
Like,
you can get the laughs,
or if you're like, what about these Jews? And everybody's like, oh, be like, yeah, I fucking hate them. Like, just lean in, you know? No,
yeah. I had one of those minor revelatory moments about one of my jokes and slash joke style, where it's one in this to get a laugh in the setup for my joke where I say it's not about the size of the ship, it's about the motion of the ocean. Yeah,
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 yeah.
and then I say, or it's not about how big the light bulb is; it's about how brightly it shines. I have a theory about these kinds of sayings, and it's the more of them you know, the smaller your dick is. And but now in the setup, when I say it's not about the size of the ship. It's about the motion of the ocean. I go like I hang on that. I go like, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying something real fucking clever that they never heard of, and I just hang on that for a second.
You're like, I invented this, just so
Yeah,
you know.
I do that like at the end of my set. so it's like people have kind of an idea of my character. Like I've just been hitting them nonstop with one-liners, and then I just say this one thing that they've heard, like that, like it's a saying,
Yeah.
and then I just say that and go, yeah.
I like
Uh,
your tag when you're like, I know a lot of them, or you can see I know a lot of them. But I don't know if I
yeah,
like it just because I feel like it should be there because it was there for so long, or if it's like a really good tag. You know what I mean? I can't
I
tell.
feel similarly to that tag. Uh, I don't do the tag anymore,
I know. I know.
but
When you
uh,
stopped doing it, I was like, wait, where's that final beat? But then the
yeah.
joke still works without it, so I don't know if.
Yeah. Like if the tag doesn't add much, I might drop it.
Yeah.
There's no need to have that shit.
If a tag
Uh,
doesn't add
Chilling.
much, I fucking expand it into a minute long tag. It's
Hmm.
my style. I'm like, that
Oh,
didn't work. Fuck you guys. You're getting more of it.
yeah, you just
I'll
go off
make
on a
it
rant.
funny. It'll
Yeah,
be so bad that at one point it has to become funny, right?
there's no other option. Like it has to be funny
Yeah. Dude,
because I'll
I
say everything.
my first set of the new year, I did a completely brand new 5 minutes, and it's
Oh
actually been
yeah.
killing. Yeah.
Okay.
You
All
know when
right.
you like, I don't know, I think I didn't go on stage for like 2 weeks and just like wrote a bunch, and then because of holidays, I didn't go on stage
Yeah.
like all throughout Christmas and shit. It was like,
See, it's rough for me because if I don't go on stage, like my writing, it's like when you don't work out and your body tells your muscles like, hey, stop growing. This fucker's
yeah.
lazy as shit.
No,
It's like that. Like I stop writing when I'm going up semi regularly.
I do that too. Like going up inspires me to write, but then also I get that thing like if I don't go up for like 2 weeks, I feel like such a piece of shit that I have to compensate for it by writing. I'm like, well, if I'm
Yeah.
not gonna go up, I at least have to have some fucking fire shit to go up with when I do go
Oh
up.
yeah.
And then I do go up and I bomb, and I'm like, great, I'm gonna kill myself, but I also have to write better jokes. Um,
Yeah.
but no, it's been doing
You
well.
know, uh, it's tough, man. You have to. I feel like 2 times a week going up is like the magic number where I still have time to write, and I still and like I have inspiration too.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
I don't know. I think the more regularly I do, the more I write, for sure. I could agree
mhm.
with that, but
Like last in like October, I did. There was one week where I did 5 sets in a week.
yeah.
Uh, that's not pleasant. Uh, you just you're there about to go up like on the fifth time, and you're like, man, I am so fucking worn out from doing this shit.
Yeah, well,
Well, it's the open mic thing because although like a couple of them were book shows,
yeah.
uh, like I still it's not like I showed up, did my set and left. Like
Yeah.
I had to spend a couple hours there, and then there was the commute. It just kind of wears on you, man.
It does. I mean, I can do it, but it depends. Like the problem with Michigan is you have to drive,
Oh, that's
halfway
that's one
across
of the
the
problems.
country to go do fucking a minute and a half, and you're like, oh wow, I drove 16 hours and
Yeah,
fucking now
that's
I
only
have
for
to
like the
start
comedy
a new
rumble though.
life here.
You get
But
you get big sets in Michigan.
yeah, but the other thing too
There's
is
like no
that
one lives there, so they'll let you stand up there for 7 minutes as a beginner.
true. But I'm also an alcoholic, so if I'm doing sets every night, I'm dropping like $20 a night on beer.
Yeah, you
And
need to like
then,
stop drinking when you like before the set or something.
well, no, I've got it down to where I drink about like a third of a beer before I go up, and then drink some on stage, then finish it and get another one after I get off. But
Like, dude, like you're having 2 beers every time you go up, dude. Like the expense of this, it's mounting
I know
irresponsibly.
I'm in the
You
hole.
can have water,
Yeah, I like when I go to a show and then they give you like $20 and you're like, fuck yeah, we broke even. And then you're like, I forgot about gas money. But
Yeah.
that's okay.
So I only lost.
Yeah, I only lost $5 tonight. That's good. I'm
Yeah.
really
I
killing
mean,
it
you
out
can't
here.
like cut back on drinking at the same time you're quitting smoking. I guess it's like too many things.
Well, no, and I like drinking.
Yeah. Plus,
I
you're
mean,
not
that's
gonna,
the
you
thing.
want to do that, let
Yeah,
alone the logistics.
I don't want to. And honestly, having 2 beers a night isn't unhealthy. Like smoking. No, no, no.
No,
They
2 beers a night, like on the weekends, isn't unhealthy.
no, they did a study over in
Who
Denmark.
is they? And that
Um,
sounds highly beer
Dutch
company speak.
scientists,
I don't
no,
believe in science anymore.
no,
I'm too
they
red pilled.
found that for men, up to 3 beers a night was actually good. It's good for the heart and your
Yeah, that
vascular.
sounds like some horse shit.
I can send you the study. They had like 1,000 people in it. It was a super legit study.
Yeah, but has it
Okay.
been replicated ever?
Yeah, what do you mean has it been replicated? They've replicated it like 5 times. It was just my favorite one.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Dude, right when I found that shit, I texted everybody I knew. I was like, yeah, why don't you go fuck yourself?
I'm going up 1 beer a night.
Yeah, well,
Going up to three.
I'm not saying you have to drink every
It
night.
says two. It says two's the sweet spot, so I have a little more leeway to go to three.
Yeah, well, for women it's 2, for men it's 3, because men are superior. But, I mean, it's like, you do what you want. You don't have
Like
to
you're
drink.
gonna turn like 31, and your metabolism's gonna disappear or some shit, and you're gonna just become obese.
Dude,
It's
my
gonna be hilarious.
metabolism doesn't even work to
You're
begin
gonna
with.
look at a picture of you from the previous year and go like, that's like the body mass of my leg right now.
Well, you see,
The rest is just beer sloshing around.
yeah. I mean, that's really when I started to gain weight was when I started drinking beer. Because, I mean, not that I'm fat, I'm like 150 pounds, but I used to
Yeah.
be like 135. But um,
Now
now
you
I
got
actually have
all
a
the cool guys say like a
slow.
buck 50. They
Oh,
talk about
yeah,
it in money
fuck
terms
those
now.
guys. But I have like a slow metabolism, I think, and that's why I'm never hungry. That's why I don't gain weight.
Mm.
But beer, fucking, that's different.
I've got a friend who has such a fast like a shitty metabolism that he has like a muscular skeletal disorder, and he has a wheelchair, but he can walk around, but it burns so many calories. He'd have to eat like 12 burritos a day,
Jesus.
like, and these like plenty of beans and fucking like a lot of calories in those burritos too. They're thick. Can't be fluffing it up with like guac and shit. You need beef.
Yeah, you need a man's burrito,
Hell yeah.
which sounds like slang for a penis.
I do like the guac though.
Yeah, the guac's good. I mean,
That's why they charge you more. It's because it's good. Also because it's expensive.
yeah.
Avocados are so expensive, even though they're harvested by slave children. Like it doesn't even make sense.
Well, I feel like they should have seasonal pricing on guacamole, because hear me out. Sure, in fucking, March or whatever, June, an avocado is like $2. But in fucking December, an avocado is like 40 cents from the grocery store. So, bulk, I mean, they're fucking making a killing. Because they keep the same high ass pricing. It's like, why don't you have seasonal, like
Yeah, yeah.
fish?
What is enough? They grow on a tree like an apple, right?
Mm hmm.
Yeah, because they got like a stem.
Yeah, down in Mexico. That's where we get most of
Yeah.
ours, I think, or some South American place. I mean, isn't all of South America basically Mexico? Like when
Yeah,
you
pretty much.
refer
I
to it,
saw a
even
picture of
though
the wall,
Mexico,
and the breeze blew over Trump's wall.
oh my God, the wall is like his hairpiece.
Like
Not
they didn't
very.
set it correctly or something, so it just like tipped over at a 45-degree angle against like a bush.
Does Trump have a hairpiece?
No, but it does. Like
Oh,
he got the
okay.
plugs when they weren't that good and they didn't set.
Oh yeah.
That's why like when you see the wind blowing up, you see like the whole weird freaky bald spot that doesn't exist in nature.
Is that Bill Burr who talks about the hair plugs and he's like, you're gonna glue a bunch of ant legs to your head or whatever? Such a good fucking description of it.
Yeah,
They
it's
really did
pretty
look
good.
horrifying before they were good. It's like, why would you do that? You know,
Because you know you're not secure enough to go bald like fucking Jeff Bezos. People who really run the
yeah.
world,
I don't like doing
except
anything
for yeah.
first anyway. Like when people are like, oh, they're working on male birth control. I'm like, yeah, why don't we give it fucking 20 years? Like I hope they make it, but I want other dudes to like die first and then I'll be like,
Yeah.
shouldn't do that, you
You
know?
know, you gotta see the death rate and then you can bring it down a little bit. It's like when you see
Yeah.
something that has like a 5-star rating on Yelp and then you're like, oh, that's pretty good, and it's got one rating.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
Like,
that's not trustworthy.
let's wait for like
It's from
another
the guys. It's
100
from the
people.
business owner's mother.
Yeah. I'm like,
You
oh,
gotta you gotta have like a 3.5 star, and you're like, I can eat there.
yeah. I know. Dude, when you see those places with like fucking 500 reviews, 4.8 stars, you're like, oh yeah, this place is
Oh
gonna be
yeah,
good.
this is fucking Nobu level, dude.
Yeah, I found this bakery in Birmingham. It's like this
Oh,
French bakery that has 4.8 stars with over 400 ratings. I was like, well,
yeah.
I'm definitely going there. I haven't been there yet. I just found it last night. This is what I do with my time. I look
Yeah,
up
and like
artisanal
bakeries
bakeries.
are one of life's great joys,
They are.
and you can't really have them outside of a city or a really rich area, which Birmingham is.
Yeah.
So, like now, I can go to a bakery and get fresh bread, and that you know, if you're about to put the barrel of a gun in your mouth, go get some fresh bread and then like reconsider it
I
because
baked
it's
some fresh bread yesterday, some baguettes. They
oh
came out
yeah,
pretty good. Yeah, and that
yeah,
is what led me to looking up that bakery. I
yeah.
thought maybe they'd have
You're like,
one
this
in
is good, but let's
Novi.
see how they really do it.
Yeah, well, I found a bakery in Novi. I'm looking for like a French bakery. This shit says Japanese inspired bakery. I'm like, no thanks.
Yeah, like the
What is
fusion
that?
kind of places, like they're usually pretty good, but they're not gonna transcend the form, you know?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Put squid in my fucking bread? I don't know.
Squid bread? Nah, you can
Yeah,
probably get some melon bread there. You know, Japanese
that'd be good.
love the melon bread.
Does it have like melon?
It tastes like a honeydew.
Ooh, okay. I mean,
It's like a
I
sweet
don't
creamy
mind
bread.
honeydew, and cantaloupe. It's not bad, but I can't eat it. It just has a weird. I fucking hate cantaloupe, but I also don't like hate cantaloupe. I don't know.
Uh, yeah. Also, like another thing is Japanese cheesecake. I don't know if you've ever had one of these.
I have not.
It's like a thick pancake that's also a cheesecake, but it doesn't have like a custard zone.
Okay.
I highly recommend them. They're novel and like it's a Japanese baked good.
All right. Well, I'm going to the Japanese bakery. You've sold me.
Yeah,
You're
I mean,
supposed to hate
they might not have
Japanese
it.
people. You're such a bad Chinaman.
Yeah, I'm not a very good Chinaman, I'll admit.
You're horrible.
I haven't
The worst.
I haven't praised Xi Jinping in a while.
I mean, just the fact
So,
that you knew that word, you've redeemed yourself.
Xi
I don't know what
Jinping,
that is.
the
It sounds like a
the leader,
server
the
issue on your
president,
computer.
the Winnie the Pooh guy. Also, I just got banned from China by saying that. You know, he, people said he looks like Winnie the Pooh. He doesn't really. But
Oh,
he got
that
mad.
guy.
Yeah, but he got
That's
really
all I gotta
mad. So
say.
yeah,
Just gotta
he
say,
just gets
Winnie the
really
Pooh.
butthurt about it. So people repost it.
Yeah. I mean, why do we post anything but to upset people?
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I don't support the like the fake communism they have either. Not that I think real communism exists or could exist. Uh, though, I might be becoming a techno communist
Oh
once
my
the
god.
revolution shows up.
Is this okay? I don't even know what that means, but
You know, it means what it means, dude. When the robots take all the jobs, we gotta either like we gotta team up so we can eat, or we can live in the tent village.
well, okay.
And
I
all the tent making robots will make a lot of money, and then
I
all
feel you
the
in
people who make
spirit
tents. Well,
because me and Lyndon had a similar conversation about how yes, the ideal society would be communist, but only when we're at a point where there's no need for work and when science is like our only endeavor. When they're like when society becomes so advanced, but that would be like thousands of years.
well, it's not gonna be thousands, dude. I mean, we're gonna Like we're gonna definitely see at least like the heavy beginning of the Rovolution within our lifetimes, unless we die really soon, which is always possible.
Yeah. Well, I
Like
mean,
we're gonna be like 60, and then everyone's gonna lose their jobs.
yeah. Well,
Like
we
it's not
should.
gonna be all of a sudden because people. It's gonna be a drip feed of everyone losing their jobs, and everyone's gonna get mad because they're already mad.
I feel like you're
But you can't.
endorsing Andrew Yang right now.
I absolutely would vote Andrew Yang if I thought he would win.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Um,
I think a Yang Bernie ticket would be the probably the best way to ensure society's survival, but
yeah.
it's they're basically a non-starter as far as half the nation goes.
You know, I don't mean to get political, but
I think we've gone
um,
there.
yeah, probably. I mean, Joe Biden is a fucking
What the fuck is
lunatic,
that? That guy's
but
probably fucking kids on
how
727 Lolita Express. I bet he's so touchy.
how amazing would it be if Joe Biden won the nomination and we got to see him debate with Trump on live TV? I
You
mean, he'd
know,
lose,
okay.
but
Here's the thing: he will get the nomination, and he will lose to Donald Trump.
well, yeah, I mean,
That's my prediction.
yeah, Bernie could at least maybe beat Trump, but
Bernie's not a Democrat. Bernie's like what Democratic people want, but the Democratic Party doesn't want what the people want.
yeah, but I
That's why
mean,
that's why all the Democratic people are like, let's not like kill people, and then all the Democratic presidents are like, yeah, and then when I get in the office, I'll send drone strikes every single day
yeah, they're like, let's
because
maybe
they
like
don't
kill a
believe
little bit, cause come on,
the
this is
interests of
America, baby.
the Democratic Party is weaker because the party doesn't represent the interests of the people in it.
Yeah, that's why we need third parties. Fucking
Yeah, it'd be cool.
dude, if
It's not gonna
Jill
happen, but
Stein or Gary Johnson could have become president, that would have been so fun. I mean, nobody wants to have a good time anymore, you know?
fucking Jill Stein is like the craziest. Fucking,
Jill Stein is the best woman in
she's
the world.
out her goddamn mind, and it's
Yeah,
pretty great.
but that's why it would have been so fun. See, Jill Stein, she's out of her mind, but part of me goes, she would make a fun president because who knows? You know what I mean? And I think that's what a lot of people forget about when people go, how could Trump win? Well, because Hillary, a majority of people did not trust her. They were like, this chick's the devil. You know, we know what we're getting with Hillary, but with Trump, everybody was like, I mean, we'll see. Could be weird. And so then Trump won. I feel like a
Yeah,
lot of people forget that he ran against Hillary. That seems to be whenever
I mean, like
anybody
Hillary,
says
like
that.
people, there's a lot of resentment to the Clintons because like even though like the email thing was bullshit, a lot of other stuff was not. You know, what that wasn't levied against them in the election because well mainly because Trump's an idiot and he didn't really know. He's like people are responding to this, so I'll keep saying emails.
Yeah,
But if he was like, they're fucking kids in planes, he didn't want to say that because he's like, I'm fucking kids in planes.
yeah, true. No, I know. I mean, people act like that election, like everybody was, like it was a rational election, allowing for rational thoughts. It's like, I think either way, a majority of the country would be upset with whoever won.
Yes.
I thought it was funny Trump won because I was just like, what the fuck? This is crazy.
I woke up the next day and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Why not have that happen now? That doesn't.
I watched it live, and MSNBC was the one I was watching, and they refused to call it. Like, Trump had won,
Really?
and yeah, I'm looking on Google. It says Trump is the new president. Even CNN, Fox, obviously, ABC, they all like said Trump is the new president. And at MSNBC, literally, it took them like 45 minutes after everybody else called it. They're like, well, technically, if she won every single district in the country remaining, she could be president if she doesn't
And it's like,
concede by
what's
then.
left? Texas?
Yeah. Well, I'm like, they're like, well, we have like 2 districts in Florida. I'm like, everybody already called it. Like, she's clearly gonna concede now.
Yeah.
And when he
And she
won,
did.
yeah, it was just so funny to me because I'm like, this is ridiculous. I thought for
It,
sure Hillary was gonna get it, but I didn't really give a shit either way. That's the thing.
I
I didn't
also
have a
didn't really give
dog
a
in the
shit.
race.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I mean, we'll see
Yeah.
what happens.
Like I was like, I'm not really a fan of this, but I don't know anything anymore. I
Yeah.
was in a very confused part of my life. Uh,
I mean, I just shit on both of them whenever anybody would talk about either. I was like, they
yeah,
both suck.
I'm sure
So,
that got you a lot of friends.
yeah. Dude, I lost
uh,
so many friends on Facebook over that election just because I'd fuck with people. I'd be like, oh, Hillary is shady as fuck. And people would be like, fuck you, you love Trump. I'm like, Trump is a fucking retard. Okay, let's get that
yeah,
straight.
for
Like,
real.
what
He's
it.
like,
I mean, I think he's
listen to the
actually
man talk.
a
He's got
genius,
dementia, and he wasn't that good
but
before the dementia.
yeah, I think he's actually really smart, but not in like a good way. Like, oh wow, he's really intelligent. Like, he's smart, but
He's got emotional intelligence, but no like actual intelligence.
yeah,
So he just
like,
like he knows how to get people going.
well, I think yeah, he's just very self-serving. Like but he can speak. Like if he I watch these YouTube videos where they break down like his speech patterns and the way he
I've
talks.
seen some of those as well.
Yeah, you're just like, wow, this guy's like very intelligent, but not for the right
I think it's like
reasons.
it's a learned pattern. Like
Yeah.
he learned it over the course of his life to make stuff happen by talking like that, but he doesn't consciously do it
Yeah, but you
because
still
he can't choose to not talk like that. Like he talks like that when he's off camera, when he thinks he's off camera too.
yeah. Well, yeah,
So
it's
like that's
part
just
of his
how
subconscious
that's
cuz
just
he's
how he
done
is
it.
now. He doesn't like he's not like I'm gonna manipulate them all like that. He's like I'm just gonna open my mouth and then do my Trump thing because that's my thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
It's
America's
like how you open your mouth and rape jokes just come out. You don't even think of them; they just flow out.
No, I literally can't help it. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
just
say
like that.
no to them, no matter
Yeah,
how hard I try. I don't even consent to the rape jokes that come out of my mouth.
how
They
could you?
just
They're
naturally
so
flow.
awful.
Yeah, they just pin me down and fucking embed themselves in my anus.
Absolutely. I heard Louis C.K. Got a standing O at an event recently.
Oh, I have standing O's every day.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. Well, that's just like more of a shower thing.
yeah. But I feel like I heard
I don't do the
something about
shower.
that, but
I
I
don't do
don't.
the shower
I
because
do
it's like the hot
sometimes.
water would like make the, cum doesn't react well to hot water. I'll go ahead and say that right off the bat.
Oh, I know. I think episode 1, we had the same discussion.
Did we talk about this?
We talked about, yeah, talked about how it
Okay.
turns into like scrambled eggs in the
Oh
bathtub.
shit.
But
Oh.
no, it doesn't. But that's why you have to, you have to get some distance. I mean,
Oh,
don't jizz on
you
your
gotta you're
face
a
and then
marksman.
run it under hot water. I mean, or do. I mean, that
It's like
sounds
when you
nice.
put flies on like a urinal so people aim at it, but it's like you aim from a distance.
Yeah. Dude, my
Okay.
mom at her old house, the shower in the basement had a seat, you know.
What the? Oh no, that's normal.
Yeah, so you
So
could like
it's for like old people don't want to slip
exactly, or
because you
if
can slip
you're
in the shower and
cranking
die.
it out.
Like
Yeah,
if I'm like 60, I like if I fall, then like and then I like get a blood clot because I broke my leg or some shit or I don't know, and
yeah,
then I just die because I slipped in the shower. That'd be very uncomfortable thought to have. So I just be like, put the chair in the shower.
yeah.
This is this isn't an argument I'm gonna have. Just put the chair in,
Dude,
and I'll
that's the
sit on it.
problem. If you're somebody like me who occasionally will take like 35-minute showers, is if I died in the first 5 minutes, it would take
You're
somebody like
drowning,
an hour to find me.
dude. You're
They'd be like,
drowning.
he
You're
always
drowning
does
for
this
sure.
shit. Come on.
Yeah, like your head's gonna fall down. Your big mop of hair is gonna clog up the drain because your head's covering it, and then you're just gonna drown.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, you hear about that people when people will be like, "Yeah, he drowned in like 1 inch of water." You're like, "What a fucking idiot." I
And
get
it's
there's
like, yeah,
situations, but it sounds hilarious to me
it
at
doesn't
first.
sound that great. Like
Like, what
if
was he,
you
a toddler?
it's like you drowned. Would you drown? You want to be like, okay, so the neutral zone is the swimming pool. That's not great,
Yeah,
and it's not like that's fucking ridiculous, you piece of shit. Uh, but if you drown in like the ocean, like that's where like you're like hell yeah, brother, as you went down with
yeah.
pride.
Whenever I hear anybody
You probably
drowning in the ocean, I'm like, well, yeah, that's because they win in the ocean. Who
yeah,
does that?
you're like well now you're fighting sea beasts at the bottom of the ocean, man. Like, stay
Yeah.
strong.
Dude, you're raping women with Poseidon. That was like his thing.
That was his thing.
Yeah,
Well, I'll
dude.
I'll admit that he did love that.
Oh, yeah. He was just
And if
raping
the Greeks
everybody.
got it right, he still loves that.
Yeah.
I don't think they got it right.
I
But
don't
you know who
know.
didn't get it right is the Romans, because they literally turned in someone else's homework with their name on it.
Yeah. I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Fucking Poseidon.
Uh, have you done shows this week?
This week? No, because I'll tell you why, and it's
Okay.
very embarrassing to say, but
Oh, did your dick break off and you had to go find it?
no, my buddy, we've been playing Overwatch together, so when I'm done working, he always wants to play Overwatch, so I haven't been doing as many mics. And then I'm sitting there fucking destroying people in Overwatch, like, wow,
What's
I
your
should be
rank?
doing comedy. Right now, I'm only at high gold, because we placed into silver. He had never played the game before. And we did our placements and got in silver. Now he's been playing all day. He's all the way up to platinum. I'm
Oh
almost
shit.
there.
So
But
do you still have like a consistently high win rate? So like you're still climbing?
oh yeah. Cause I play Tracer and I have a mouse and keyboard hooked up to my Xbox, so I just fucking poop
What?
on kids.
Oh geez, how do you do that?
You need like this
Is it
fancy
Bluetooth?
adapter.
Is it
No.
Bluetooth? No?
No, you get this thing called the Zim Apex, and you can plug in like a mouse and keyboard. It's not as good as being on the PC because you can't like 180 and stuff, but
Yeah, plus you're like pretty far from your TV, right?
no. I'm in my office on my desk.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you hooked it up to your monitor, so it's basically the
Yeah.
same.
No,
Okay.
I have a mouse and keyboard on my coffee table.
I was thinking you were doing that, and I was like, dude, you got high gold with that setup, dude. That's pretty good.
That would be so
Uh,
ridiculous. No, I'm in like a office chair with like a monitor and a
yeah.
desk. Some intense shit, man. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I take my almost cheating very
You,
seriously.
you got your gamer fuel. You're a fucking kratom.
No, I don't do that anymore.
You don't do kratom anymore?
No,
You need to
now
suck that shit down, baby.
I know. I bought this pack of weed gummies, so I've been eating those.
Oh, you're on the weed again.
Yeah, just edible form.
Okay,
And
that doesn't like make you weird.
no, no. Although the other day I ate like two of them. They're only 10
What's the
milligrams.
MG on this?
10
What's,
milligrams per
oh,
gummy.
those are weak. Those are yeah, you can pop those down.
Yeah, but I ended up getting like super fucking high, and me and my buddy were trying to play Overwatch. I had tears running down my face, like when I'd kill somebody. Like I one clipped this Tracer who was trying to kill me, and I was playing as Tracer, and I found it so funny from his perspective to just get shit on like instantly that I was
Oh
laughing
yeah,
so hard I was like crying. I couldn't even play. I'm like, imagine this guy. He runs up and he gets killed. When you know that guy's just like, ah, fuck, I died. And
yeah.
then
Like he's already respawned and then killed you, and you're laughing.
yeah, to me, it was just so fucking amazing. But I lost a lot of SR that night. I was very high. So,
Yeah, whatever.
can't
I
do
mean,
that.
it's a video game, so like play at your level and then have fun. Or not, I like to play slightly below my level so I can win.
Yeah, well, that's
Like
good.
I wanted to,
Good
I don't
point.
want to crush them. I want to slightly destroy them.
Yeah, Overwatch is a weird game because you're either shitting on people or getting shit on. It's never
There's
like a
there's no
close
there's no close
game.
games. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I mean,
that's
occasionally,
rough.
like we had a close game last night where we were like, "Wow, that was actually a really good game." But
Yeah,
yeah, usually we're just like shitting on people, like they can't do
it's like
anything.
basketball.
Yeah,
Like
you're
I don't know
either
what the deal is
dunking
with
on them or
basketball.
getting dunked on.
Like how come basketball teams like these are the world's like best professionals, and then one guy just walks up and shits on the whole team by himself, and then also his own team because they don't get to touch the ball or anything. They just stand to the side like we
It's
got
because the
fucking
other team's
Kobe. We
white.
got Kobe today. This season we got Kobe. So like, we're playing, but we're also on the bench, and we also win every game. So I get a ring. Thanks, Kobe.
Yeah, yeah. Did you see that thing Ari Shafir said about
Yes,
Kobe?
I did. It
I
wasn't
didn't
funny. I
watch the
also
video, but I saw his tweet.
I'm in favor of him saying it. But you like also, I had this talk with some other comic friends of mine. you have to like when something like this happens as a comedian, like you feel an obligation to say something, and you probably should. Uh,
I didn't because I can't.
but yeah, it was a good call not to because here's why.
I know.
You need like before the public opinion on this character's death will either shift immediately to negative or positive. There will be no gray area in the public's
No, not
eyes,
at all.
and the public went entirely towards the good, like Kobe was a good guy,
Yeah,
and so if you made the wrong call on that, they were not going to respond favorably, like no matter what. And you had to make that call in the first 5 minutes. And
I
a lot of
know.
people got it wrong. I know Ari made it wrong on purpose, but he also didn't make a joke. But
Yeah, I
that's
feel
also
like he
kind of the
was
joke.
being like an edgelord,
He,
which,
yeah, he got dropped by
whatever.
his management, which like I feel like that's just
One
telling
of
you that your
them.
management won't back you up when shit gets hairy for real.
I heard that was like his secondary agency, not his main representation,
Yeah,
at
like he
least.
has. It's Ari Shafir. He's got like. It's not hard for him to find representation.
Yeah, without text. Never mind. Okay. Uh,
Okay.
you can't do it backwards. Representation without taxation. I mean, I like it. I like it.
What are
That
you
would be
just gonna bring up
ideal.
fucking three fifths compromise next?
Yeah. No. But yeah, I saw a lot of people on Facebook who were like shitting on comics who tried to crack a joke about it. Like, I'm not even kidding, like comedians in Michigan. I mean, you know how they are. But
I do know how they are.
they were like, fucking, there's nothing funny about a man and his daughter dying. You fucking hack piece of shit comedians. Like, don't show up to any of my shows. You're all blocked and deleted.
And one
I'm
that's
like,
not true. But
what do you mean?
sure. Like it's not true that there's nothing funny.
Oh, I thought you said it's not true they were doing that. I was like,
No, they
dude,
like absolutely they
Facebook
did
was
that for sure. I
blowing
believe
up.
that 100%.
Yeah, and yeah, I even wanted to take a crack a joke at that, but I was like, I better not. But I wanted to be like, you know, I don't agree with people making jokes about a man's death, but I also think that these people who are saying that jokes about his death, quote unquote, don't fly is kind of inappropriate.
Yeah.
But, get it, don't fly. All right. I
Um,
thought maybe I could make it a little funny without it being like offensive, but I was like, you know what? I should just not say anything about it ever,
yeah, okay.
except
So
for on this podcast because it's my
here's
safe
my
space.
Kobe joke cuz of course I wrote a couple.
Hmm.
I just didn't post them out of like good judgment.
Yeah.
So when I was in the gym when when the news came out. So I was in the gym. I was working out. So I didn't check my phone, and I saw that Kobe died in a helicopter crash on TV, and I was so shocked. Not because Kobe was dead, but because I had forgotten that the news also happens on the television.
Oh,
Like I completely forgot that that shit happens. So
that's
I
a
was
good
like,
joke.
oh,
That's not
television.
offensive.
It's
That's like, I
yeah.
like that take.
Yeah, I think I'm like when something less like edgy appears in the news, I might just like cut and paste
Yeah,
the
if there's
topic
like a
in.
terrorist attack or something, then, you
That's
know.
that probably not great. um,
Yeah. Well, that's a funny thing with comedians though. Like you can make like a joke about like a mass shooting, but then if a celebrity dies, you're like, I better feel this one out.
yeah,
I don't know.
it's the mass shooting thing probably isn't that you said isn't true. People get
Well,
mad.
yeah.
People get mad.
I create my own reality here. Okay.
That's I appreciate. It's very important to have a strong delusion as a comedian. It's very
Yeah.
important.
What am I
You'll
not
never
going to
make
be
it
deluded?
if you take things as they are because then you'll lose heart immediately.
Yeah, that's the whole
Which
point of comedy. I had my one friend tell me one time, he goes, I just don't like when comedians do the whole thing where they like, they take something and they like over exaggerate it so much to try to make it funny. I'm like, that's literally what comedy is. That's almost all comedy.
yeah,
Like,
it's
either severely over or under exaggerating. I was like, like that Hannibal Buress joke when he's talking about the firefighters like having a meeting and he's like, all right, so what we're going to do is theoretically, if there's a fire, we're going to go there and we're going to put water on it. And if there's a fire over here, like he's underplaying like the
Yeah,
importance of the job. And
yeah.
that's what makes it funny. And he's like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. I'm like, yeah, you just don't like that one comedian. Don't
You
fucking.
actually convinced somebody
I
against their
did.
point. That
I
doesn't happen
did.
anymore, dude. That's
Well, we're like
I think
really
that
good
guy was like an
friends.
infiltrator, and he was just there to like sneak into the comedy scene so he could find out who needs to get Me Too'd next.
Oh, he wasn't a comedian. He's one of my
Somebody got accused
longtime
of
friends.
sexual misconduct in my program,
Ooh.
but they got accused by someone who just put a poster up in the comedy club restrooms,
What,
like
saying
in the
that?
stall, so you only see it if you close the stall door, and it said like, "Beware, this guy's a sexual predator." I'm not gonna say names because
I wouldn't know him anyway.
yeah, but like I don't want to.
What, are you scared
I don't
you're
want
gonna
to be
be
like
the next victim?
on the poster. Like, okay, so it's an accusation, and some people think that it's specious and it's like not good, but it's like some people think the person who put it up will just like is like a mad lad who'll just like fucking get revenge on you by making a poster that said you're a fucking rapist.
Yeah,
And I don't want that to be me, so I'm not gonna name any names.
well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like when people talk about, you should always believe people. Like, I agree with context, but then there are other situations where, like, yeah, then why can't I just go fucking get a marker and a piece of paper and
I'll
blame
actually
somebody of something?
I'll text you this through a messenger,
Okay.
and then so you can know what I'm talking. Like it wasn't like a well put together poster. Like it had like spelling errors and shit. So it was like what's going on here?
All right. Well, then they probably deserved it. It's like learn how to spell.
Yeah, don't like read it out loud,
I'm
but
kidding.
you can take a peep at it. I just sent it to you.
All right. I love peeping things. All right. Let me look at this. Downloading photo.
Downloading photo. You can just
Are
like
we in the
see it online.
90s? It's like just be there.
Do you ever like send somebody a photo and like you text them the photo, but then like as you're about to send it, you check like 4 times to make sure you didn't actually send them porn, even though you don't have porn on your phone.
Yeah, because with mine, I have Verizon Messenger, and you'll like click something, but it won't show what you clicked. Like it'll go back to the beginning of your
Absolutely,
photos
yeah,
after you click
100%.
it, and I'm like, let me make sure I clicked the right thing. Okay, it's still
Yeah,
saying downloading photo because apparently we're stuck in the 80s. I'm just
absolutely,
gonna
it's dial
go
up. You hear
keep
like,
going back a decade. Yeah, I mean, is it 1402? God damn. My family is
check the fucking
dying of
Pony
the plague.
Express. That might be faster.
Yeah. Alright. I don't know why it's not loading.
Just close the app and reopen it. Maybe it's not
I,
like that important, but
I
I'm
feel like
trying to
you
make a note of that thing I
texted
just said.
me the words downloading photo just to fuck with me. Oh, okay, now I see it. That would be
Oh,
pretty funny. I'm gonna send
it
that to
is
people.
funny. You should try that on some people.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. Like I saw this, I was like, I was about to like, I was about to lay a dump down, and then I just see this accusing someone I know, and then
Can I
uh,
read the headline? Just the
yes,
red part. Okay, because
yes,
it's fantastic. It
yeah.
says, warning, sexually predator. What does that
It
mean?
sexually predator.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, but all right. I get the spirit they were going for, the tone, but I mean, come on, like fucking, you couldn't think that sounded right,
yeah.
you know? Nobody.
Yeah. There's
Warning,
like there's
sexually
other
predator. It's perfect.
there are other spelling errors inside of it.
Yeah.
So I go down and I just like I show my friend the picture I took of the poster. And I was like, "Have you seen this shit?" He gets the fucking manager of the club. And I'm like, "You know the manager of the club?"
Ooh,
and
hot
and
shit.
they storm up the stairs and then they rip down the signs.
Oh my gosh.
And he's like, "Don't like tell people about this because you might be implicated if some shit goes down." And I said, "Well, I'm just gonna go on my podcast and talk about it, so
Yeah,
that's fine."
it's okay. We've been nice and ambiguous.
Yeah,
Am I using that word properly?
you are very much
All right,
so.
that's good. I like when I use words properly. Makes me happy. Do people in Toronto speak French?
Um, they all have to in high school, but it's
Nice.
sort of like you learn a language in high school and then you don't know it because you didn't actually like speak it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Angela was talking about that. She's like, if I wanted to learn a language, I'd just take a college course to learn the language. I'm like,
So
dude,
here's the thing,
like
that's not effective
academic
either.
language learning is such trash.
It
And
is like okay, so if somebody moves to a place where they speak that language only,
yeah.
the fail like the success rate of learning that language is damn near a 100%.
Oh, yeah.
And so, but like the rate of people actually learning a language from like a college class uh or a high school class, it's probably like 2 or less%
Well,
of people
yeah.
who take it.
How many people we know learned English in English class? Like, English just taught you
Well, okay,
what a
that's a little bit
preposition
different because
was.
if we speak to somebody who's like ESL, like English as a second language, they are here physically, so they had to move somewhere where they only speak English, and they have gone through that process.
Yeah. But,
To be fair, you will get a fucked up accent by doing that.
yeah.
That's why everyone has an accent, because except for like really academic people, they'll like, oh, I erased my accent or something.
Well, I mean, it depends how much effort you put into speaking with, like, an accent. Like, I mean, people will always be able to tell you're a foreigner, but you hear some people who have pretty good, like, American accents. But I find it funny, like, the people in Europe, like, who learn English, some of them learn British English, so they'll do a British accent to speak English. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? You're like, oh, what the fuck? So,
I hear a lot of accents now because in Toronto, I don't know if you're aware of this, but it's the most ethnically diverse city in the entire fucking planet,
I mean,
and
except for
that's
Novi,
true.
but,
No, it's true. It's the most diverse city on the entire planet.
huh.
And so there's like there's different ethnicities. There's like a Korean restaurant down the street near that's like really grumpy and they don't like you when you laugh because they think you're laughing at them.
I have a Korean restaurant literally less than half a mile from me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Korean
Uh,
barbecue.
we got Eastern Europeans out the wazoo. Some close family friends are like they. I didn't know that they were close family friends, but apparently they are. It's like my parents had like college friends, and then I didn't know about them until now, and they fucking housed me for a month and a half for free and let me eat their
Oh,
expensive
those
cheese.
people. Oh, they had good cheese. These are
They
my
have the
kind of
best cheese. They
people.
have like they don't go to the cheese store. They have a guy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
Like, and they just got a meat guy too.
How
Like
fucking
they
wealthy are
ditched their
these
old guy.
people?
They've got $1 million in the bank.
Okay.
Which in Canada is like that's like you're doing all right.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
that's
because
about
they're looking to
ten,
buy a
twenty
house.
dollars in real money and freedom money.
It's like a Zimbabwean currency. Like it goes up.
Yeah, he got like a
That
20
that might
billion
get you a
dollar
burger.
note. 20 trillion, whatever they're at now. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's
Ooh,
uh, I've I've
hyperinflation.
I've been a good guest of theirs, and I like them very much. They let me walk their dogs and
They
help out
let you.
sometimes, and I get to come over and have like ribs and burgers and stuff.
Nice.
It's very nice actually. I quite enjoy it.
Do they barbecue in
They
Canada?
do, yeah,
Alright. Kind of cultural appropriation of
yeah, a
America,
little
but
bit
it's
to be
fine.
honest, a little
Yeah.
bit.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Dude, I was thinking about that. I always think like, wow, America, you look at like France and Italy, they like pioneered food. Then America's over here like, well, we got hot dogs and like it's cool. But I forgot
And
that,
it's like what it's like. Well, where do hot dogs come from? Germany.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I forgot that America actually pretty much like pioneered barbecue. Like that fucking
Yeah,
pulled
but
pork.
Australians they took it to another level, probably, right?
Yeah, but I mean, they're not real. So,
Okay? You would know because you went there.
yeah, I know. I went there, and like
For like two
in
years or something,
movies,
wasn't it?
when they go to purgatory and it's all just blank white space, and they're
Oh, like
standing
when you go
there,
to Delaware.
hello, hello, and it's just nothing. That was me for 2 months. I was like, Okay, apparently nothing's here. And then I fell off the edge of the earth because it's flat.
And you landed in Michigan because there's nothing there, and that's where the end is.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. Fucking um my mom's friend. I like how she's like a big anti-vaxxer, which is ridiculous, but
It's That's hilarious.
she was going off about how stupid flat earthers were, and Lyndon didn't know she was like an anti-vaxxer, and he's like, yeah, like probably the only thing worse are the anti-vaxxers. And dude,
She's like,
she
what does that
started
mean?
freaking out. She started screaming. She's like, I have an IQ of 160, and I'm sitting over there like, I doubt it, or else you wouldn't have said that. But
Yeah. People with IQs of 160 are aware that the IQ system was meant for kids under like the age of 12, and it never was meant to scale.
yeah, like yeah, I don't think publicly citing your IQ is
Just, I'm very smart.
yeah, that's always a
Did you see how smart I am?
that's a symbol of intelligence right there, or a mark of intelligence. You're
Yeah,
like, look,
that's
I'm
what's
really
good.
smart, okay? So everything I say it's true, but everything that doctors and biomedical researchers say is bullshit because I have an IQ of 160. You're like, yeah, I know you watched a YouTube video, but why don't
To
you
be
calm
fair,
down?
I am pretty much over a lot of science now because it's there's a lot of junk science and I don't have time to like go through and check sources. So whenever someone quotes me a study like you did earlier, I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I
Maybe
mean,
when everyone's chugging beers and looking like Adonises all the time, like I'll try it. I'm not gonna be a first adopter though. I tried that with the Wii U. When the Nintendo Wii U came out, I'm like, I'm gonna get this day one, uh, and it didn't pop off.
no, I mean Wii U, more like PU. That thing
Yeah, ha ha
stunk.
ha. It did have Smash Four, and I played that like every day, so it was worth it. But I could have
That
waited.
I'm gonna tell that on stage. I think that's the funniest thing I've ever said.
Yeah, no one's ever said that before ever.
No. Wow. I just created a whole new genre of comedy.
You certainly did. What's our timer at right now?
We are at 51 minutes.
Oh, beautiful. We still got a little more time. You want to? Uh, I want to take a moment to tell the audience about a great product. They're not a sponsor. I think you should try it, right? And it's called Pepsi. It's Pepsi. It's the soda. I know, like you might not have had it in a little bit, but uh, if you've noticed, it might coincide with people in your life have started to like you a little bit less. Maybe they've started to stray from your side, uh, and it's not really that anything's changed so much as that they realized how they really felt about you. It took them a while because you had a Pepsi every once in a while, right? Like you're cool,
Me?
but
No.
yeah, you specifically, and then
Never.
they had to slowly figure out that that's not really who you were. But they thought that you were someone who you weren't, and they liked that person. But as the facade slowly chipped away, they realized that they don't like you, and they can cut you out of their lives. They don't have to keep hanging out with you. That's why they unfriended. That's why they blocked you on Facebook. It wasn't like the fact that you sent her a dick pic unsolicited. That's okay. That happens every day around
Chicks
here in
dig
these
it.
mean streets. Uh, like they could tell. It's not like people are like, "Oh, you don't drink Pepsi, so you're not cool." It's not that. It's something ineffable. It's just something about you. About being about it. You know, it's being about it.
I
You
have
know what I'm saying?
no
Like
idea what you're saying. I didn't
I'm
get any
saying
of that. But
you
Pepsi.
people can tell. Like you can tell.
Yeah.
Like we didn't
They know you're a nerd.
we didn't record a podcast in the last like month and a half,
We did
and
not.
it's because I could tell.
It was
Okay,
very uncool.
I could tell that you weren't cooking.
I've actually been cooking
weren't
a lot. That's been one of my
you weren't bringing it to the
resolutions.
table.
No.
You need to buy the Pepsi and drink it.
Did your parents drink Pepsi?
They did not, and that's why it became
Did they
like this.
drink Coke?
If you don't drink Pepsi, your kids will get autism. That's just a fact. That's not even me selling you anything. Like anti-vaxxers, they're fucking idiots. They think it's vaccines. It's Pepsi. Okay.
Yeah, I shoot that shit straight into my dick hole with a syringe. It's gross,
Yeah.
but it's syrupy and I like it.
Okay.
It's
Well, like, do you do
sweet
the straight
and
syrup like
burnt.
before it goes into the soda machine?
Oh
Like, you know
yeah,
how
that's the
they've
only
got
way
like a
to do
syrup
it.
back there and they mix it with water.
Oh yeah,
That's why like people say like McDonald's Sprite is like different because it's not
it
like what you
is,
get in
and
a
it's
can.
better.
Yeah, it's not like in a what you get in a can. It's
No,
like a different mix
yeah,
because it's
it's
the syrup. It's fresh Sprite.
you
The
know
lemons and limes, they just juiced the lemons and they just took the zest off the limes.
they did. I found that people tend to prefer Pepsi or Coke depending on what their parents drank. Like my mom drank Coke, and I like Coke a lot more.
Uh,
But then, like, my one friend, his mom drank Pepsi, and he loves Pepsi. And at the end of the
like,
day, it's like they're both the same fucking thing.
no, actually, like Pepsi is a little bit sweeter.
It
So like the
is.
first taste of like if you're having like a shot of Pepsi, like or Coke, take the Pepsi. But if you're gonna like have to chug a 2 liter, then absolutely choose the Coke because the Pepsi gets kind of cloying
Who
after like the
has
first
to chug a
cup.
2 liter?
If you're like at like a Presbyterian church youth group and you have to ingratiate yourself into the little munchkins and
Okay. All right.
yeah,
Well, when you put it
like
that way.
you needed to pay the bill, so you became a youth pastor because like it's pretty easy to be honest. You
Oh,
just have to
yeah.
talk. Like you
So
get to
many
do a set.
people
You just
become
do a set
youth
every
pastors
Sunday, and then you get
to
paid
pay the bills.
because you're a pastor.
All right, Pete Holmes.
Yeah, and and you need to make sure those kids know you're cool. So you take a 2 liter of and you chug it all on stage, and they see you and they fear you
Dude,
deep inside their souls. Like those kids, they're not gonna fuck with you now.
my dead dad used to do that before he was dead. Not while he was dead, that'd be weird. But
It'd be impressive though.
yeah, I remember being a kid and he pounded a whole 2 liter of Mountain Dew, and I was like, wow, this is like the coolest guy on the planet. Like, how can he do that? And I remember telling all my friends about it. Then, now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, he could do that because he was an alcoholic. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
like
that.
he
He's
learned
just
the
good
real
at
stuff.
chugging carbonated things.
Like, Dad, doesn't the Mountain Dew burn your throat? He's like, I don't even have nerves in my throat anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
He's
whiskey
like,
remnants, just hardened nodes of whiskey.
yeah. He's like, hey kid, look how I can pound this soda, and then,
Like he takes a knife and he fucking stabs the base of it and he sucks it. He suckles the knife.
yeah, I, I guess.
Yeah, it's when you stab a
Yeah, so you get the airflow.
you shotgun it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta crack the top though. Oh, otherwise it'll just go everywhere.
Yeah, my one friend will always do that. He'll be like, "Want a shotgun of beer?" I'm like, "Dude, this beer is like 7%. It's like craft beer. It's not like a Miller Lite." And no, I don't
Yeah.
want a shotgun a beer. I'm not 12. Okay, I will drink it rapidly like a man, but
You
I
ever
can't do the whole shotgunning anymore.
you ever take like a light beer and like a stout and you mix them to make a rosé?
No, because
'Cause
I hate light
that would be
beers
disgusting.
and I hate stouts.
It would be
Stouts
so
may
gross.
be the only thing I hate more than light beer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm more of like an
I
IPA.
I had like a stout float once.
That sounds fucking nasty.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, when people go, oh, it's
It had
like
vanilla though.
chocolatey or okay, vanilla, like I get it when
Like
I
the vanilla
taste
ice
it
cream in the
tastes
stout.
like vanilla, but
I'll admit
there's
that the
something
vanilla
about
ice
that
cream,
flavor.
it did a lot of heavy lifting for the stout. I'll admit that.
Yeah. Dude, one time I bought that alcoholic root beer and made root beer floats with it.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't bad.
There are A&Ws all over the fucking place in Toronto, and
Really?
one just opened up down the street. So I had like a week went by, and I was having like a diet root beer
A
there for like
diet
three
root
days of the week.
beer.
Yeah, because like there's
This is sacrilege.
like listen, I'm not gonna get all fat drinking these fucking root beers. Okay, they're good. I'll
Oh
admit it.
my
They give you a frosted glass, so like the root beer kind of makes like it goes in a liquid and then it
You
becomes kind of like
drink
icy.
diet root beer out of a frosted glass? I
Yeah.
can't handle you.
Okay.
Diet pop. Oh my god.
Uh,
Nah, No, it's
I don't
okay.
know.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to make you
Okay.
feel
You know,
bad.
it hurt
But
my feelings. It hurt
okay.
my
Well,
feelings.
I mean, it should have, but also I take it back.
Okay.
I have
Uh,
views, but
yeah.
it's,
That's, you just have to
yeah,
have an opinion. It
yeah,
doesn't have to be good opinion. It just has to be loud. That's the life we're
yeah,
living in right now.
yeah. See, that's the problem. People put their opinions on social media, but they don't say them to people. Become like me. Be an asshole. You say it to people's face. Don't take it to the
Delete
internet.
Facebook, yell at people on the street. I took a
Yeah.
street, like I was at a bar with some comics after a show, and they're like, let's split an Uber. And I said, it's going to take 350 for me to get home via the streetcar. 350 and an hour and 20 of riding the streetcar. But if I take the Uber, it's going to cost me like $7 and it'll be 40 minutes. And I'll still have to walk a little bit because we're out going to like a neutral location, whereas the streetcar goes pretty close. So I said, I'm going to leave you guys. Go fuck yourselves with your now $10 Uber because I'm an asshole.
Ooh.
Uh, Also, like they probably weren't gonna do the Uber either. So I sensed the negativity to the idea in the room. So I split and I went to the streetcar.
Name
And so
Desire?
I walked down the corner from these guys. After I was like, yeah, have fun with that. I'm just gonna take the streetcar like a smart guy. And
What
then
if they did
immediately
have
I'm
fun?
accosted by a homeless man who goes, "I need a 10, and I don't give a fuck what the cops think.
My
You
man.
don't know real power." And I texted my friend and I said, I regret my words and deeds. You were right. I should have gone for the Uber.
Yeah, nobody likes homeless people. They're gross.
Yeah,
So,
like sometimes I think like some homeless people are just saving up coats so that one day they can open up a store.
a or a shitty like Burlington coat factory. You know, I
Yeah,
went into one of those. They didn't even have that many coats. It
yeah. I
was
went
like
to
a
Burlington and they're
Marshalls.
like, and I'm like, "Where's the coat factory?" And they're like, "Haha, go fuck yourself. We don't have. We
Oh
don't do
my
that here."
god, you were that guy. I could slap you right now. Wait, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, with voicing your opinion.
Yeah,
No, like these people who you'll see on Facebook who will like shit talk you about something, which I don't use Facebook anymore because I can't handle it emotionally.
yeah. I
But
do use the messenger quite a lot because you have to as a
yeah,
comedian.
I keep that on my phone, but I deleted everything else. Like
Yeah.
so I have to go on it from the browser, and it's shitty.
Yeah, and or like messenger.com also works pretty well.
Yeah, but no, I like these people who will like shit talk you. Then they'll be like totally cool in person. I feel like I'm the opposite, you know, like when people say something, like are you ever in a situation where somebody says something and they're wrong and you're like nobody's
Like
saying it?
demonstrably wrong. Like
Yeah.
demonstrably wrong.
Yeah, and nobody's saying, "Well, you're
Like they're like the
wrong."
War of 1812 happened in 1810. Fuck you, I know my shit. I saw a
Yeah.
documentary, and then you go home and you're like,
Dude,
and it's like that documentary was written by a guy as a prank.
yeah, there's nothing better than being like, you're wrong. Like just chopping somebody down who's so full of confidence, but they have no idea what they're talking about. You're like,
Yeah.
how dare you speak in my vicinity? Like, what's
Go
wrong with you?
away.
And
I
then,
want you to stop
which
breathing.
Angela calls being argumentative, but it's like, no, they're wrong. I mean, come
It,
on, what
it,
do
it
you.
is being argumentative.
Yeah, in a way. Like, okay, so Angela was at her friend's house, right? And her friend's friend was complaining about how her pies would get soggy bottoms, like the crust on the bottom would be
Oh,
soggy,
that's a
no
rough
matter
couple.
what she did. And Angela says, "Do you pre-bake your crust?" And she goes, "No, but that's not the problem." And she goes, "Well, if you pre-bake it, you won't get soggy bottoms." And the friend's like, "I don't think that's true." And she comes back home and she goes, "If you pre-bake a pie crust, does that prevent soggy bottoms?" And I go, "Yeah, obviously." She goes, "Oh, well, my friend didn't believe me." I'm like, "Did you Google it?" She's like, "No, I just let it go." I'm like, What are you doing? Fucking look it up on
It's
Google."
like,
When I looked it up right then, I was like, it's the first thing on how to prevent soggy bottoms.
yeah,
Like,
and like, but there is a thing, and like it is with women, but it also works with men, where if they like if they tell you a problem, like some like a trial they're having, it's like it's you don't tell them the solution even if you know it.
Yeah, but I feel like that's for more like for more like abstract or like
Like,
esoteric
also,
problems. You know, like if
like
somebody's like
you can apply
I've
it wider than you think. Like give it a try. Like
yeah,
it's
but if somebody's like, "Oh, I've been depressed lately," instead of trying to figure it out for them, you should listen to them. I agree with that. But if
yeah.
somebody says, it's kind of weird how the sky's purple, you're not just like,
Mm.
"Oh, yeah, that is weird. I could see how you'd find that weird." You're like, "Well, it's not, you fucking idiot, but okay." You know what I
But
mean? Like,
I think the latter would get a negative response.
yeah, but I
I
feel
think
like
I'm pretty fair in saying
there's a
that.
line where everybody should be kind of called out on
Uh,
their dumb
like
shit.
I think they should be, but I don't think that the world should happen on things that should happen because it doesn't, right? So I
Yeah,
should,
but I do it. Be the change you want to see in the world. I mean, I'm not a
yeah.
dick either. Like, I'm just
Oh,
kind of an
whoa,
asshole.
whoa,
No,
whoa.
like, I don't say things I'm empathetic with people, but also if you're being stupid, like, I'm not going to call you stupid, but I'll be like, hey, here's what I know about this, or let's consult Google. Like, I don't do it every day. It's like a once a month thing where I totally get to fucking, you know, get
Yeah,
my
it's has
elbow
some
up in
mad
somebody's
comeuppance on
butthole
some
with
idiot
facts and
because they didn't
logic.
Google.
Yeah, I'm like slightly less unbearable Ben Shapiro with my facts.
Like I will admit, sometimes I ask her like a question for like conversational sake, and then people are like, just fucking Google it, and I'm like,
Oh, I hate that shit. Yeah, what happened to conversation?
it's like I don't care about the truth. I just want to talk about it. Okay.
Yeah, you're like, oh, you know,
You're like,
is
isn't it weird how like movie theater seats are spaced or some shit like that? And they're like, well, actually, it's because of this. I'm like, why don't we just
yeah.
talk about it?
You're like, is Meryl
Like,
Streep a lesbian? And everybody's like, I could see it. Like things like that. I don't
yeah,
know.
it's just killing time, right?
Yeah, it took me
Yeah.
so long to think of a middle-aged woman celebrity.
Oh yeah.
I
Well,
spent that
there's
whole
Michelle
time.
Pfeiffer, but she looks like she's 22 still, even though she's like 60.
Yeah,
What's going on there? She's white. It shouldn't happen.
no, I I couldn't tell you, but oh, I was gonna say something that I forgot.
That's
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Well,
Not only do we not have conversation anymore, you know what I also miss? When
what?
people could listen to a new album and it wouldn't be a whole thing. Like, I
Well,
can't even
they
get
need to be the
people.
authority on it.
Well, yeah, and people need
They
to
want to
like
call it,
skip
man.
around the record. It's like, what happened when you just put on a record and like listen to it and chill out with
You
people?
just put the needle on the old gramophone.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, come on, let's have some class here.
Oh, blue Christmas weather. I
Or
think Elvis is a
people
fucking hack.
Yeah, people can't even like watch movies either. Like I'll have like friends over and you put on a movie and everybody's on their phone and you're like I'll laugh and they'll be like, "Oh, what? Like I missed it." I'm like, "I'm not rewinding for you. Like get out of my house." You know what I mean? You dude, and I'm the person who if somebody's in my house and they're on their phone for more than like 2 seconds, what like if they check something, like they get a notification, fine. But those people who will like be scrolling through Facebook during a movie, I will literally shut off the movie, and they're like, "What? Come on, play the movie." I'm like, "I'm not playing the movie. You're not
That's
watching it. I don't care. I'm not.
uh,
We're not watching it then. You're either going to watch it or not watch it. You're like a kid right now, inside or outside. Quit fucking leaning in the door. You're letting all the goddamn cold air out, you cunt." It's like,
yeah.
oh, all right. That was
That's quite a
my.
hard line position on that, but
I don't care.
uh,
That was my passionate rant.
yeah, it's good to have passions.
Yeah, I have
What are you
passions
gonna
about really weird shit. Like people are passionate about like knitting or like dogs.
Yeah.
I'm like, nobody texts during a movie. I'll fucking end you. It's good to have hard opinions on things.
Yeah. Fuck you. I don't know you. Get out of my face. I'm walking here.
Yeah. At least when people are in your house, you're like, look, this is my domain. We watch movies, okay? We
You're
don't.
like really abrasive for Michigan, but I think you'd fit in New York.
Yeah, I think so, but See, that's the thing. I hate people like me. So I
Well,
don't think I
so do
would.
they. So do
I
they.
know, but they can deal with it. I hate people in New York when they're just like, fuck you. I'm like, fuck you too. What the fuck?
Fuck you, man.
But then also, you get like the thing in like smaller cities where you go to buy a pack of gum and the cashiers, like I had this lady at Meyer the other day. I'm checking out and she goes, or I go, no, she comes up to get my ID and she goes, how are you? And I go, good. How about you? And she
Yeah.
goes, oh, just working and this and that. I'm like, I don't give
Yeah.
a shit. Why are you talking to me? What
Yeah.
makes
Just
you
like
think?
this is a business
Yeah,
transaction.
it was a
Don't
courtesy.
talk to me.
When somebody says, how are you doing? You say, good. You don't tell them how you're doing. Like, why
Yeah.
do you think I actually care? I was reciprocating the gesture. It's a gesture, not an invitation for conversation. The nerve of people to
The
think
nerve. I can't
that
believe it.
we're like a community. It's like, no, bitch, we're a
Like I have never
society.
met you. I don't want to meet. I didn't want to meet you today. If I could have used the machine, I would have. But I had 16 items, and
Yeah.
I follow the rules.
Well, yeah, and you had to check my ID. I had this one chick on New Year's check my ID. I pull out my ID and she goes, oh, I don't need that. And I'm like, okay. She goes, it's New Year's, I'm in the holiday spirit. I'm going to trust people more. I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's how that works. You might want to check
Yeah,
it.
it's like
What are you talking?
I think it's like you trust people who look over 40, and that's
Yeah.
it.
If she had been like, "Oh, you've been here before, that's why," then I'd be like, "Oh, okay." But she's like, I want to trust people more. Like, I don't think this is the situation to better yourself. What are you, fucking weirdo?
Yeah, well, you gotta do something to make yourself feel alive because you're working a dead end job. Like, listen, when you work a job, you want to die. Like nothing's happening, and
Naturally.
this takes your whole day, and you get barely enough to fucking live, and it sucks.
Yep.
And people seek things like Facebook or like a movement like, oh, vaccines are killing babies or something, and they're
Oh,
making us
women are
autistic.
equal. It's like, come on.
You just need something to grab onto, so you don't walk out in the rain and lay down and expire.
Yeah, you need a
You
big
just need
meaty
something.
cock to grab.
Yeah, you need something, man. And because the live, there's no artistic expression. They don't have hobbies. People don't have hobbies, man. They don't like
I
go to Mike.
know.
They don't like go to Michael's and like I'm gonna scrapbook
I
of
know.
something
How
fucking amazing today,
how do
and then
these people
they're like
live?
I'm gonna go home and look at Pinterest
Um,
and then die.
Yeah, look at all of these things I could go do but never will.
Yeah,
Dude, I can't believe people don't have hobbies. Like when people are like, "Oh, what are your hobbies?" I'm like, "Well, take a seat cuz this will take a while." How do
yeah,
you keep your sanity without fucking doing something?
yeah.
And hobbies make you interesting.
They do. They give you like they hobbies make you weird. It's
Yeah.
like uh if a guy who's like a Muay Thai fighter, he'll like his walk will be fucked up or something, or a guy who's like an archer, his back will be like hunchback forever, and like you look at that guy and you're like, that guy's interesting.
Exactly,
He does some
because
shit.
well, there I watch this
That's an outward representation, but I mean like personality wise also. It's like
well,
a comic. They'll be like they'll have takes on stuff. They'll have hot takes.
yeah. Well, yeah, and like also you can connect with people. Like, my brother-in-law likes hot sauce. Well, I was growing hot peppers at the time and made my own hot sauce.
Yeah,
So I'm
and
like,
plus you get
hey,
stories from
check
that.
this
It's not,
out.
you don't like. What'd you do last week? Oh, I watched Parks and Rec again.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's like
Angela's
I grew a
watching
Carolina
Parks and
Reaper and then
Rec
I
again.
touched my penis hole and then I had to go to the emergency room. That's a hobby
Yeah,
story. That's what happens to an interesting person.
exactly. Or, like I was talking to Angela about this, about having hobbies. Like, remember when we met, wasn't it Justin at Trixie's, and you were like, this guy does magic, and I was like, I also played around with magic. And then you have
Heck
something to
yeah.
talk about with people if you
Yeah.
do weird stuff. You meet like-minded people, but you can't meet like-minded people if your mind is not able to be like anything.
Yeah.
You know,
Like
oh,
if
I
you don't use
also
your
do
brain for
nothing.
something you care about, it withers away.
Yeah. Yeah, those are like the people, oh, I don't have any hobbies. I just work. You're like, well, I
Yeah.
mean,
I'm
what
a
do you do
house
then?
plant.
Yeah.
I'm just driven from room to room. That's what I do.
Yeah, water me and feed me and shut the fuck up.
I go to a desk and I process words.
And
Uh,
sunlight.
I'm an intern programmer, and someday I may become a regular programmer, and then I'll fuck this woman and get her pregnant, and she's like, she doesn't care either. She's just the same as me. We can go home and watch fuck a TV show we've seen before. We can watch The Office again, and
Yeah.
uh, and we'll have children. So even though we make more money, our standard of living will get worse.
Yeah. And I know children such leeches, but I
And like
like
children are not your
watching.
hobby. Also, another children are not hobbies. Let's get this fucking straight.
Oh yeah, I don't have
If
time
like
for
what do you
hobbies.
like?
I have a child.
You talk to parents and they're like, oh, I just ferry these people around and I go to work, and it's like, well, what do you do? They're like, I had children.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But you can
It's
do
like it's like having children doesn't add things to the world, man. It
well
There are enough children.
and get a hobby with your child,
There aren't
Fucking
enough interesting people. Be one of them.
yeah, teach your kid Portuguese, whatever. Fucking,
Fuck yeah, and then
like
your kid will grow up and people will be like, why do you know Portuguese? You'd be like, oh, my mom was weird, and then he'll go get a job with his bilingual ass, and he'll
yeah,
get paid more than everyone else because he speaks two languages and no other reason.
exactly. Take your kid ice skating every other week. You know what I mean?
Well, like
Like
maybe stay away from the kids' hobbies that like if they get into them might will get them molested. Like don't like go to Catholic church or like gymnastics. Like don't do that.
I don't think kids get molested ice skating
I
or in
like
gymnastics, do they?
gymnastics absolutely. Gymnastics coaches are pedophiles
Oh
like very
well,
frequently,
my
and
my
ice
5-year-old
skating like
sister or
figure
6.
skating. Yeah, she's in danger.
Okay, well,
This is a wake up call
I'll
to you
alert the
actually.
authorities. Somebody's running a gymnastics class in Ann Arbor.
Yes, yes.
They'll be like,
It's
"Oh wow, that
She
wasn't on
is
our
at
radar."
risk. Also, youth swim teams. When I was, this is anecdotal, so don't take this, so don't believe this
I
is
fucking
factual
love
evidence.
anecdotal
Uh,
evidence, and I will
but
regurgitate it to everybody.
when I was in middle school, there was like male and female uh, swim teams in my seventh grade, and then in eighth grade there was a new coach, and the old coach had gotten arrested for making child pornography from the
Oh my
for like sneak
god.
photos. He didn't molest anybody.
Yeah.
I think no, like if he did, they wouldn't tell us. Like that would fuck up. That would fuck shit up because you walk around and be like, that girl got molested by fucking Mr. Smithers.
Yeah, true. As a kid, you'd probably be pretty insensitive to that.
In
You
in eighth
forget
grade
how crazy kids
that would have
are.
been murderous.
Yeah.
If people found out you got molested or something, that would have been awful. You'd definitely have to leave the state
Yeah, for
because people
sure.
would talk about you in like the surrounding schools too. You
Yeah, you'd
know,
be like, "What? Were you after his money? He's a teacher." Haha.
yeah, victim blaming, right?
I
Anyway,
mean,
so
it'd be
like,
horrible, but that's...
so I witnessed a pedophile. Luckily for me, that pedophile was only into little girls and not little boys.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you could have passed.
I'm like maybe if I
They would have
tried
been
hard enough.
like, "What's this one? He looks Asian." Well,
Yeah,
could be either.
somewhere in the
No,
middle, whatever.
yeah. Um, have you? Does your dad speak Chinese?
He does not.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
No, we're like third generation.
Oh, okay.
It's more like three and a half generation, really.
My Angela's cousin's girlfriend comes from China, and she came here like on her own without her parents and everything because they were like, I guess growing up as a girl in China is pretty fucked up. They'd
Oh, it's
like,
absolutely like you're a second class citizen. Also, there are a million dudes trying to rape you because
yeah,
there are no women, and like they're like, there's literally zero chance of me seeing a woman. Like
well,
there are villages full of just this is true. There are villages full of just dudes,
Sounds kind of gay.
like middle like teenage dudes in teenage to like 20s dudes like neckbeards and fedora guys, but like Chinese version because there are just no women who exist. They've been forced into like becoming like like a dude
Well, because
who just is alone for his whole life. He'll never like interact with a woman meaningfully,
well,
just because of that. So they'll like that makes rapists.
because like her parents had to pay to keep her and
Yeah,
have
like
another kid. They had to
the
pay the
reason that there's no
government.
women is because the Chinese government. This is another reason I'm never getting in China. Is that they aborted female fetuses.
Yeah,
There's uh, the Chinese population. People think it's like 2 point some billion. It's actually 1 point something billion. They inflate the numbers to like try to hide the fact that they killed a lot of babies.
classic China.
Yeah. The one child policy was very disruptive. They rolled it back because they're like, oh shit, there's villages of just dudes,
Yeah, and they were getting some bad press.
and also like parents were they were on their own. They're like, well, we can barely afford to eat, and if we have a daughter, then we're gonna die of starvation because uh, we'll have to we'll have to pay for shit,
Yeah,
daughter shit that only exists in China,
yeah.
like a dowry.
Well, and like even if people do have daughters, they like resent that they're
Yeah,
female. Like
absolutely.
I guess she had to eat like they'd eat like all the food and she would
You
eat
gotta buy
like
like
the
training bras. Those will put
scraps
you in the fucking dirt, man.
like the skin and the fat, but none of the
Yeah.
actual meat. I'm like, Jesus. Yeah. And then her parents apparently are like pretty wealthy and she's here working like 80 hours a week, and her parents like refuse to speak to her because she doesn't like send them money even though they don't need it. It's like,
That's
god
filial
damn.
piety. To filial piety to baby boomers is the most ridiculous concept that could be consisted that could be conceived.
Yeah. That's
It's,
a cool
it's
word. I've never heard it.
filial piety. It's respecting
Yeah.
your elders. It's the Chinese
Oh,
concept. It's like
okay.
you have to give face by like you send money back home or like you defer to their like you listen quietly. It's seen and not heard. But like people speak of that shit like it was some like crazy shit like children had to be seen and not heard. It's like
The Milford
that, but it's
Academy.
like that, but for your whole life.
Yeah. Or
Um,
no, what was the Milford Academy? Children should be neither seen nor heard.
yeah,
Did you watch
they,
Arrested Development?
I did, I
Oh,
did.
okay, good. I didn't watch the newest season. I watched like 4 episodes. I was
No,
like, oh,
the
come
newest
on,
season
stop
is
it.
generally regarded as poor.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it just,
It's like when you take something off a roll like that,
I know. It
it
never
never
works.
works out well.
No, you
There's like a
can never bring it
reunion.
back. I mean, the only thing they could like bring back would be like Louis, because, he did his own
Well,
thing anyway, or
well,
Curb, you
that's not
know.
the same because those are casts that like revolve around like just Louis, or like you can just have
Exactly.
Louis,
Or
or you could
just
just have
Larry
Larry David.
David. Yeah.
Like you don't need any. Everybody else is secondary. This is
Well,
about the adventures of
hey,
one man.
except
But if
for,
like at the Friends reunion that would like that it got canned, like that
yeah,
would be shit.
except for Leon.
Because
He's not second class.
like
He's a beautiful black beauty.
you can deal with the because actors and like they change over time
Yeah, naturally.
and like they were chosen because they fit together really well in the first place, but they all
Yeah.
grow apart. They grew separately and differently.
Dude, and what the fuck happened to Portia, whatever, Ellen DeGeneres' wife? You look at season 3, like Lindsay's like all like hot and this, and then she comes back, she looks like a totally different person. I was like, that's the same actress, right? Like, dude, she
What?
must
Wait,
have
is
got,
it?
yeah,
Oh,
she must have got her face fucking like welded to the back of her skull.
yeah. It's like it's tough in like in LA for these famous like I know it's like oh poor
Oh,
famous
yeah,
people they
but,
got so much money but it's like everyone day in and day out it's like you got to be careful because like the moment you start slipping they'll replace you so you
well,
gotta get a little touch up little bit here a little bit there
and
no one's gonna notice one or two procedures so maybe like one more.
well, I agree. Famous women, like women, they have a natural inclination to age a lot harder out of nowhere than men, and which Hollywood kind of doesn't yeah, they're kind of shitty about it. But what happens is the women, instead of kind of leaning into it like we started the episode on, you gotta
Yeah,
lean in. Instead of leaning
it's
in,
true.
they overcompensate. It's like if you're skidding in the snow, hit the gas and look where you want to go, but they overcorrect
It's
and
true.
fly
But
off
like
into a snowbank and look like Frankenstein's monster, which I
eventually,
feel
like
for
these
them.
people are famous because they're really pretty. And
Exactly.
like so they're chosen from a pool of really pretty people and they have to like when I don't know if you've ever been to an audition, but you go into the room
Fuck
of
no.
people waiting and everyone looks exactly like you.
Yeah.
Exactly like you. They don't look any different. Like you could look through a pane of glass at them and then you'd be like, is that me? And
Yeah.
you'd be fooled for like until they did something differently.
Well, I could
They
look
look
through many
like
painted glasses and be like, is that Sebastian? No, that's
yeah,
another
yeah,
Chinese guy.
everything looks like
I'm
me.
kidding.
Okay. uh, uh, anyway, so the image, like the idea that you are replaceable by a younger hotter model is, and the only reason they keep you around is because people get their dicks hard to you.
Yeah,
Like that idea is very very pervasive,
I know.
and so it makes you paranoid. Like if I'll slip if I don't look hot, if I'm not tight, if I'm not wet,
Yeah,
I gotta be hot, tight, wet, slippery, sliding down a fucking slip and slide volcano with my tits out. uh I gotta be
I'm getting aroused over here.
making it. I gotta be on the gram. I gotta have a tight face, no wrinkles, crow's feet. What? No, hell no, fuck no.
Yeah,
Never catch me with no fucking crow's feet. Jesus Christ! Get the
yeah,
poison in my face.
yeah.
And that's and then they
It's a sad truth to showbiz. But I feel like showbiz is kind of the same as politics. Maybe as like the younger people kind of get in there, it'll get a little less fucked. Or not. Who knows?
no, like there's all this body positivity stuff, but it's all fake, guys. It's
Yeah.
not real. I
I
don't believe it for a
mean,
second.
yeah. The the body positivity thing. I think that's mostly used with fat people.
Yeah, but like you still like can't look old.
Yeah.
But like you can either look pretty like there's no room for in between states in like the modern media, and that's where like you can't be kind of in shape. You know what I'm saying? You can be fat and be successful. Absolutely. You can be really skinny and successful.
Yeah.
You can't be like kind of out of shape.
Yeah, and they really typecast like the skinny women are always like more serious. And then like the fat women are always like the wacky, like crazy ones, like the Melissa McCarthy's and that chick from Pitch
Yeah,
Perfect.
absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
because like you can be like a, you know, if you're a leading lady, people want like you need they want you to look fuckable. I'll say that. They want you to look fuckable, and their
Yeah.
idea of fuckable is one thing. Guys only want one thing, and it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
That meme. Um, I do still like that meme. The tweet where the woman said like guys only want one thing, and it's fucking disgusting, and then people put like a picture like a headshot in a video game.
I do. It's become a classic format.
It's
I
it's
love it.
really it's almost evergreen. Really, it's been around for like 10 years.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yeah. Anyway, this it's a sick, twisted game, and it's rough. Like even like that's the high level though. Like no one will ever see. Like realistically, no one or like ever meet for more than like one like dinner that you just happen to go to the same restaurant as this famous person, and everyone's like, oh shit, they're here.
Yeah.
You'll never meet anybody like that probably.
I don't think a lot of
For
people want to be that famous. Like,
you don't choose. There's no great sliding gradient. You either like you're unsuccessful or you're so successful people think you're like people are making like a conspiracy cabal against you and you have to go to Africa for 10 years. There's no in between.
yeah.
uh,
I
because fame comes like it exponentially breeds. But
yeah.
here's where I am at the low level. I did an improv show the other night. I actually did really well, quite proud of myself. But
Good
or
job.
like you do stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
So the only people there's like friends and family of comics and other comics.
Yeah.
It's a pyramid scheme.
And
That's
there's
the only
Twitter
people you're
people.
selling to are people who also sell the thing that you're selling.
That's true. I mean, that's where I feel like comedy is definitely going to be going digital pretty heavy. Like the people who you see who kind of blow up. I feel like, before it was like, oh, he got on SNL and now he's big. I feel like now it'll be like, oh, that guy fucking crushes it on YouTube.
Well,
But
these
I,
programs, these popular programs are still going to be relevant as long as there's viewership, of which there
of
are.
course, they will be. But, like Andrew Schultz got more famous than, a lot of people on SNL or as famous.
I okay, like not major cast members,
No, I
but
guess
for
not.
then writers, yes, absolutely. He's more famous than the writers of SNL.
Yeah, I don't know.
Uh,
I
but he's
guess,
he's also you gotta remember that he's like the king of the scene in New York, like the
yeah,
local scene. Because like who's there to challenge him? Who doesn't like travel a lot?
yeah,
Like
true.
there was Tim Dillon, but he's in L.A. / New York.
I mean, you have Mark Norman, and
He's
Joe
he's
List,
he,
they've
he's
been
he tours
getting,
too.
no, I know. They've been getting big though, and it's funny.
But he's
Mark
like, I mean,
Norman,
local scene, like who's always there? It's Andrew Schultz.
yeah.
Like you can go to New York and see Andrew Schultz.
Oh, I see
That's
what
not
you're
really a thing you
saying.
can do anymore. You can't travel somewhere and see people. Like he's like, that's where that guy is. It's like a tree. It's like let's go see that famous tree, or like I don't know why I say a tree. You can see like the Empire State Building or some shit,
Yeah.
or like
Let's go
Broadway.
to
I
New
don't know, a
York and check
tree.
out
What
that
the fuck am I
tree.
talking about? A tree.
Fucking
Anyway, like
love
he was like, let's
trees.
go see something on Broadway. It's like, where's Broadway?
It's on Broadway Street.
It's on fucking Broadway. You go to the cellar, you see Schultz.
Yeah. Um,
I don't know
no,
if that might be wrong.
I don't know. But what I was gonna say is it's weird with Mark Norman. You see him, he's been, or he got pretty popular. Not, I mean,
Well, he's now one of the guys that everybody wants the respect of. But
well,
it's weird because like only a couple years ago he was the guy wanting the respect of like the top guys, but now he's like one of them.
yeah,
He
and
just needs the Netflix special,
he
and
has
that'll put him over the
crushed
top.
it so hard on late night. It's crazy. Like, I don't know
Yeah,
if you ever get in like a late night wormhole. Fucking late night sets kind of blow now. At least some of them that I see, I'm like, they're okay. But
yeah.
dude, he goes on there and rips it, and he does it so often, and he's gotten so popular from there.
Well, there are a lot of
And
limitations on late night sets, and if you are like a story guy, you're gonna have a really tough time on late night.
yeah,
If you're a one liner guy, you'll do really well.
I feel like I'm more one-linery now than I used to be. Like a mix, but
Yeah,
I've cut
I feel like
down
I'm a
my
bit of a
jokes
mix.
quite a bit.
I still ride the one liner line pretty heavily, but
Yeah.
and I will continue to until
Well, I don't ride it
once I
nearly as
start
heavy.
breaking 10-minute sets, like I'm gonna start fucking more heavily with because I want to really ingrain the structure of funny into my
Yeah.
soul. And one liners are that's what like how you get it.
Yeah.
Because like once I intuitively like if I have to still kind of try to make a one liner when I think in one liners like the kind of way that Donald Trump speaks in hooks.
Yeah.
If once I think in one liners, then if I tell a story, I'll be able to incorporate them fluidly.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, my stories, like, I guess I do a mix of both, but most of my jokes are like under a minute. But I usually only get about 5 jokes in 5 minutes, maybe four.
Yeah. See, like
But
I get easily double that amount in like 3 minutes. I get like
yeah.
it takes like 12 for 4 minutes conservatively.
Yeah.
But that's one liners to stories. Like I just have I have the Mad Libs like and
Yeah.
then there's that's the joke. You want to wrap this one up and then maybe take like a little breather and then do another?
Yeah, I have to piss very
Yeah.
bad. So, all right. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this bitch up. So, thank you for
Hell yeah,
listening.
brother.
You can catch part 2 next week. We're totally not gonna record it today. We're gonna record it next week. For all you know, it's magic editing stuff. All right.
Are we really gonna wait till next week to drop it? Like, I mean, Are we gonna make one?
Dude, we got a backlog. It's called
Yeah,
being a
we gotta backlog.
professional.
That's true. We
Yeah.
gotta have a buffer in case like we get ill or one of us dies and we have to make like a simulacrum of the other one
Yeah, or in
out of a
case
soundboard.
somebody doesn't have their mic for a month and a half.
Oh yeah, that's true. That might
Ooh.
happen.
Yeah, firing shots here.
Oh, they're right across the bow, dude.
Ah, all right. Well, it's been real, guys. We will see
Yeah,
you next week. And
next
goodbye.
week, baby.